Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the academic procession.
Halakiasla, please sit down. Yo Wixus, Nukwa Teresa Neal. Good morning to you all. I am very proud to be here for this very exciting ceremony of convocation. Allow me to welcome you to the traditional territories of the Squamish, the Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh people. Burnaby Mountain has always been a place of great abundance. Many of the hunters of the traditional Coast Salish people tell stories of the many deer that have been found here on Burnaby Mountain. May this day be the first of great joy and abundance as you complete your journey here at SFU and here on Burnaby Mountain. Congratulations to all of the graduates. Would you please join me now in welcoming our Chancellor, Carol Taylor, to the podium. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Teresa Neal. Teresa is a member of SFU's Aboriginal Elder Program, and thank you for sharing some words of welcome for us here today. I'd now like to invite Mr. Micah Brush. He is a third-year student in Chemical Physics Honours Program, and he is going to lead us in the singing of O Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you, everyone, and welcome today. I declare the October 2012 Convocation is assembled for the granting of degrees. And what a great problem to have in the fall. I see you've got the sun in your eyes. I promise you that's not usually our October problem. Mr. President, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, faculty, honored guests, graduates, and friends, I'm Carol Taylor, Chancellor of this wonderful university, and this is our 47th convocation, and we're delighted and honored to have in attendance today a number of very distinguished guests on the platform and in our audience. So welcome to you all. Special guests we have on the platform include from the SFU Board of Governors, Mr. Brian Taylor, our chair, and Ms. Angie Hall. Mr. Harry Bloy, MLA Burnaby Lougheed, and His Worship Richard Stewart, Mayor of the City of Coquitlam. Welcome to you. So today's a pretty special day. It is a day for all of our graduates to completely immerse themselves in this formal celebration of your accomplishments. That's why we're here today. We're here to congratulate you and to share in your sense of pride and anticipation as well. But this is a time of transition and new beginnings for each one of you. It's a time of some uncertainty, many challenges, many opportunities. But I confess I'm going to take advantage of my position as Chancellor today to offer some admittedly unsolicited advice, but I hope that maybe I can plant a seed of an idea with you. As you go forward into your varied and busy lives, please consider the possibility of participation in government as one of your career options, either in elected office or in our very fine public service. We have seldom needed you more. And yet I'm dismayed by the number of young people who feel disillusioned by politics and are turning away rather than diving in and turning around our system. Both President Petter and I, we've both spent time in elected office, different parties, different positions, although actually some were the same. We've both been ministers of finance in this wonderful province. 4 of our last 6 premiers have attended university here at SFU before becoming involved in public service. And as well, our honorary degree recipients this year include 2 very remarkable individuals who have also led in the field of government. One as President of India, one as Chief of one of Canada's most successful First Nations communities. President Abdul Kalam and Chief Kim Baird are role models for all of us. So here's the question for you. Why did we do it? All of us so very different. Why did we get involved in government? I can promise you it was not for the glory, the unabashed adulation, unquestioning respect. No, it wasn't that. We did it because we believe in the power of government to do good. There's nowhere else where the opportunity to change the world, or at least our little corner of it, is so direct and so rewarding. Where else could you sign a treaty that changes the life of your community forever? Where else could you make decisions on behalf of an entire country's citizens? Where else could you take positive action to bring back the low-income supplement for seniors in a province, or to completely redesign an urban plan based on sustainability? The only place you can do it is in government. This is the power and the opportunity that politicians in the public service hold in their hands, and it is power that you could hold in your hands. I remain a great optimist, as I hope you can tell, about serving through government. It is an honorable profession, and it is a very important way in which you can make a difference. Let me emphasize that it does not matter what political party you feel most comfortable with. All parties have good people and good ideas. It does matter that you get involved. So my plea to you today is to disregard the negativity that too often swamps the true picture of what government is all about or should be all about, and look to the opportunities it offers you as individuals, each one of you, to change the world. Now, it may not be now, because I do realize that you all have different imperatives right now. Get a job, pay the rent. But I hope that at some point in your career you will remember today and you will consider public service as an important career option. Strong democracies depend on strong participation by decent individuals who want nothing more than to make a positive difference in the world. And it could be you. I now call upon the president of our university, Professor Andrew Petter.
Madam Chancellor, honored guests, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, faculty members, staff, and most especially graduates, families, and friends. It is my privilege and pleasure to participate in this celebration of your success, this culminating event of your education at Simon Fraser University. We mark this occasion by bestowing upon you the traditional parchment, a piece of paper that provides tangible proof of your efforts, your engagement, and your accomplishments at SFU. I hope that you are as proud of that accreditation as we are proud of you. But that certificate is, in a way, the least valuable thing that you take away from this university. The most valuable things are very often the intangibles, and it could be years, even decades, before you fully appreciate what those things are. I was reminded of this fact this summer while on a visit to Vienna, my mother's birthplace. Maureen and I took time to seek out where my mother was educated, the actual building that in the early 1930s was the Vienna Academy of Performing Art and Dance. It's now a university, and the archivist remarkably managed to find my mother's transcript, showing her to have been an outstanding student. Now, that's something I knew. Having graduated from the Vienna Academy, my mother was accepted into the Tanzgruppe Bodenwiese, the creative dance company that at the time was the toast of Europe. And it was while touring with Bodenwiese that she met my father at a party in London. That meeting changed her life. Well smitten, my father followed my mother to Vienna, where they married and lived in a small apartment until the Anschluss, the annexation of Austria by the Nazis in 1938. This was a traumatic time in Europe, but no more so than for Jews like my mother. Had she remained in Austria, there can be little doubt as to her fate. But thanks to my father's British citizenship, she and her parents were able to gain entry to England and subsequently to Canada, where they began a new life. Now, as much as I credit my father's role in her escape, it occurred to me as I held my mother's transcript in my hands that in a fundamental way, it was her education that saved her. It was the work she did, the lessons she learned, the connection she made at the Vienna Academy that enabled her to grow, to travel, and be in London for that fortuitous connection with my father, a connection that saved her life and the lives of my grandparents. Now, this may seem a dramatic example, and it is, and I frankly pray that you and I are spared such drama in our own lives. But consider the lessons of my mother's experience. First and most obviously, you cannot possibly anticipate the doors of opportunity that education will unlock in your future. And second, as my mother might have noted leaving Austria with little more than the clothes on her back, education is something that never leaves you. In a world where we have come to put so much store in material wealth, it is education that has the greatest capacity to enrich us as individuals and as citizens. It's no surprise then that as my parents settled in Canada, as my mother established herself as a dance teacher helping to support her family, she maintained an unwavering reverence for education. She never missed an opportunity to extol its virtues or to support her children and grandchildren in our studies. She always regarded education as the most important gift that a society can bestow upon its citizens and the most valuable asset that an individual can acquire. At the same time, she recognized that an education by its very nature is incomplete. A great education is not an endpoint, it is a beginning, a stepping stone on the path to a more fulfilling and productive life. In that regard, I want to remind you today that you are not leaving SFU, nor are you concluding your education. Rather, you are taking an important step from being an SFU student to becoming a valued member of the larger community of SFU alumni. And as your requirements for skills or knowledge or wisdom are tested in the future, SFU will always be here to help you take the next steps in advancing your education. Finally, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for the energy and enthusiasm you have brought to your studies, the contributions you have made while here, and the challenge and stimulation that you have provided to your colleagues and to the professors who have been fortunate enough to have you as their students and as their inspirations. I also want to thank your parents and the extended family, as well as all those friends and mentors whose efforts and support helped you to reach the milestone that you celebrate today. Know when you presently cross this stage that your accreditation distinguishes you as a graduate of Canada's leading engaged research university. But know also that its greater value lies before you, behind the doors your education will allow you to open in the years ahead. Education is a gift. It's a gift that will always and only be yours. I encourage you, I challenge you to make the most of it. Congratulations and best wishes to you all. Madam Chancellor, it is with great pleasure that I call on Dr. John Jones for his convocation address to the graduands. Dr. John Jones is the acting director of the School of Engineering Science. His research involves the computer modeling of heat transfer and fluid flow in micro-machines. He teaches a first-year introduction to engineering and has recently received awards for excellence in teaching, not only from Simon Fraser University, but also from the Association of Professional Engineers and Geoscientists of BC. It's with great pleasure that I introduce Dr. John Jones.
Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, honoured guests, graduands, faculty, graduands, friends and family. Graduands, you've worked hard over the last 4 years to obtain your qualifications, and now you're leaving us. And I expect and hope you go out with the intention of doing good, to benefit your province, to benefit Canada, to benefit the world. What kind of good do you expect to do? Perhaps to create jobs for Canadian workers, to create wealth for the Canadian economy. And these are indeed very good things. But let us suppose that a few years after you leave here, you find yourself in the position of having discovered an awkward fact. For example, the fact that extracting oil from the tar sands inescapably contributes to climate change. This is just a hypothetical case, of course, but let's suppose you do discover such a thing, whether you're working as an engineer on your research or as a communications graduate in journalism. Well, should you tell anyone about it? If you do, it's bad for jobs in Alberta and BC, it's bad for Canadian workers, it's bad for the Canadian economy. So this doesn't benefit Canada, does it? What are you going to do? You may have to choose between, on the one hand, Canadian jobs and the Canadian economy, and on the other, telling the truth. And of course, the consequences of telling the truth may be very unfortunate, not just for jobs and the economy, but for you personally. I imagine this must have occurred to Socrates shortly before he drank the hemlock. So what does SFU want you to do if you do find yourself in this position of having to choose between Canadian jobs, the Canadian economy, and the truth? I hope you never will. This is, after all, just a far-fetched, hypothetical case. But if you should find yourselves in such a situation, we want you to tell the truth. When this university was created, back in the radical 60s, a popular battle cry on the left was, "Seek truth to serve the people." And that does sound very attractive. Seeking truth is good, serving the people is good. Surely then, seeking truth to serve the people must be doubly good. But as it turned out, it wasn't. Good intentions are just as corrupting to science as bad intentions. Lysenkoism, the brand of genetics that displaced Darwinism in Russia and in China in the 50s, sprang from the noble wish to feed the hungry Chinese and Russian people. But unfortunately, the laws of biology do not change to accommodate our wishes. A better battle cry for us might have been, "Seek truth, no matter how unwelcome its implications." It might seem that truth should be the property of the philosophy department, and that graduates of our faculties should take a more pragmatic approach. But as many of you in the applied sciences and FCAT have discovered, technology obliges us to have a certain respect for the brute facts. We know there's no use trying to sweet-talk a resistor into disobeying Ohm's law, or in trying to convince a piece of code that it should ignore the laws of logic. Similarly, graduates of the health sciences know that the virus and the bacterium are unmoved by rhetoric and by wishful thinking. And what is the use of communication if we don't use it to communicate the truth? But I shouldn't claim that some faculties have a more intimate relationship to truth than others. This is something that all faculties share, something unique to the university as an institution within society. I do not mean that universities have any exclusive claim to the moral high ground, that we as an institution still less we as individual faculty members are uniquely good. There are many other institutions in our society that serve good ends: the creation of jobs, the creation of prosperity. Our distinctive role is to apply critical thinking to discover the truth and to speak out that truth even when it does not further these good ends. We do not exist to serve as the research arm of business. We do not exist to serve as the research arm of government. We are not the conscience of society. We have no unique grasp of what's right. But we do have a unique relationship to what's true. For you, our graduates, this is the best gift we have to offer to you. And this is what we hope you take away from here: the ability to think clearly, to discern what's true, and the eloquence and the courage to testify to the truth. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, as part of the ceremony, the Alumni Association will present a Simon Fraser University alumni pin to the graduates as they leave the stage. Our alumni are important members of the SFU community, and we're pleased that this symbolic presentation will launch graduates on their new role as alumni of SFU. Mr. Chris Hilliard received a BA in Economics in 1989 and a BA in English in 2006. He is also currently president of SFU's Alumni Association. I invite Chris Hilliard to the lectern to bring greetings to the graduates on behalf of the Alumni Association.
Thank you, President Petter. It is indeed my privilege and pleasure to congratulate each of you on your graduation and to welcome you as the newest members of SFU's Alumni Association, a global community of over 120,000 engaged alumni. I encourage each of you to remember and rely upon this community and the connections that you've made here during your time at SFU. It is, in fact, your strongest and most natural professional network. Attend our events, join our alumni online directory, and stay connected through our social media channels. Our powerful network engages with you to help you attain your post-academic goals. Also keep in mind that the Alumni Association is here to serve your needs and interests with an impressive array of benefits and services. These are designed to help you make the exciting transition to your own careers. I invite you to learn more about your alumni privileges in the brochure that you'll find in your degree folder. As you cross the stage today, I will be presenting you with an alumni pin as a symbol of your achievement and your alumni status. Wherever life takes you in the future, we hope that you will keep the SFU spirit of engagement alive and that you will maintain a lifelong connection to your university and your fellow alumni. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hilliard. Before the graduands are presented individually to the Chancellor, Ms. Andrea Blendl, a member of the graduating class, will address Convocation. Ms. Blendl has been a recipient of several scholarships, is a member of the Golden Key International Honor Society, and has volunteered for several clubs and activities during her time at SFU, including serving as Vice President for the Communication Student Union. She's participated in several field schools and exchanges across Europe and Canada, and completed 3 co-op work terms, including the Zowski internship with the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation and a placement with Discovery Channel Canada. She'll be graduating with a Bachelor of Arts with distinction, majoring in communication. I'm now pleased to call upon Andrea Blendl for the graduand address. Ms. Blendl?
Thank you, Mr. President, Madam Chancellor. Good morning. Welcome families, friends, faculty, and graduates of 2012. I've never had so many eyes looking at me at once, and I gotta say it's a lot of pressure, but it does give me new appreciation for some of those professors who have to stand up in front of those lecture halls and talk to hundreds of students. But I can see my family, and they're sitting right up at the front. And my dad almost didn't make it today. He had to reschedule a big work meeting just so he could be here. And when I told him that if he didn't make it, it wasn't a big deal, he looked at me and he said, "Are you kidding? I can't miss my graduation. I'm graduating as a parent today." So, congratulations to both of my parents and to all of our parents and our friends, our families, our teachers, and mentors who have helped us to get here today. This is your day too. We are here in part thanks to your hard work and support. And of course, a sincere congratulations to all of the graduates here today. I had a hard time figuring out what I would say today. So my friend suggested to me that I think of it as my current self giving my first-year self a pep talk now that I'm 6 years the wiser. And yes, I do feel a little like Van Wilder after 6 years. But here it is. I thought I would talk to you about what I know. I thought I'd talk to you about my experience. Sometimes you don't get what you expect. My experience at SFU was not what I expected my post-secondary education to be like. I thought I would live on campus, and I didn't. I thought I might join a varsity team, but I didn't. I thought I would finish my degree in 4 years. That didn't happen. And ironically, most of what I'm taking away today, I did not learn in a typical classroom setting. For some of you, your university experience might have been the team sports, the campus life, or the classroom. But for me, I spent most of my undergrad doing international exchanges, field schools, or co-ops in different parts of the world. Through this, I learned that you can pick up a language pretty quickly when you're immersed in the culture, that what you had envisioned as the perfect job actually might not be the right fit for you, and that you can survive just fine for 4 months on a diet of Swiss cheese and Swiss chocolate. Sometimes not getting what you expected turns out to be much better than anything you could have imagined. It was these kinds of experiences that taught me the most, because it was these experiences that helped me to figure out who I am. You know that old saying that no matter where you go, there you are? It's true. So get to know who you are, and most of all, be proud of it. When I finished high school, I went straight to university, not because I knew what I wanted to study or because my parents pushed me into it. I went to university because it seemed like the next logical step in my life. For many of us, now there is no clear logical next step, which is both exciting and terrifying at the same time. So as we walk across the stage today, we all have dreams of who we want to be, what we want to do, and who we want to become. Even if we don't know our plan, we have a vision for our lives. My advice is stay open to new possibilities. Things might not work out the way you thought they would, but whether you define that as a good or bad thing is up to you. In the panic of my impending graduation and the fear of what I would do with my life after university, some of the great people in my life have offered me wise advice. So I want to share 3 of those key messages with you. First, trust your instincts and don't rush into this next phase of your life. Second, whatever it is you decide to try, make sure it is what you really want to do, because you are the only person that knows what that is. And lastly, remember to be true to yourself in order to find the happiness in your life. Whether that happiness derives from your family, your friends, your career, your financial success, or your ability to help others is all irrelevant. The important thing is that you find what it is that brings you that happiness. And don't be afraid to fail. There's a chance that we will, and probably more than once. But that's okay. As Samuel Beckett said, ever tried, ever failed. No matter. Fail again, fail better. That's pretty much all I would have to tell my first-year self. And having said it, what I've really learned over the last 6 years is how I need to live the rest of my life. All of us had different experiences here at SFU, but whatever your journey has been, for better or worse, it has been a defining experience. Where we go from here is also up to us. So as you leave here today, don't forget the people around you who helped you become who you are. Don't forget what you've learned inside and outside the classroom. And don't forget who you have become over these last few years at SFU. You are a better person because of it. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Andrea, for those instructive and inspiring words. The members of the graduating class will now be presented to the Chancellor to be admitted en masse to their degrees. Will the graduands please rise? Madam Chancellor, I present to you those scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of this university and request that you confer upon each one the degree for which she or he is now recommended.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees. Will the graduates please be seated?
The members of the graduating class will now be presented individually to the Chancellor. But first, a few requests. Would you please refrain from applauding the individual members of the graduating class until each group of degrees has been conferred? This does not apply to the conferral of doctoral degrees. Now, obviously, we cannot forbid spontaneous outbursts of enthusiasm, and we've had a few in the past. As a courtesy to others, please remain seated until the conclusion of the ceremony. And now, would the graduates please return to your seat? Would the graduates please return to your seats following receipt of your degrees? Now, the degrees in the Faculty of Applied Sciences and the Faculty of Communication, Art and Technology, as well as the Faculty of Health Science, will be conferred. Madam Chancellor, the Dean of Graduate Studies, Dr. Wade Parkhouse, will announce the names of the students earning graduate degrees.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. The graduates will be hooded by Dr. Namal Rajapakse, Dean of the Faculty of Applied Sciences. Dr. Usman Alim. Dr. Alim completed his doctorate in the School of Computing Science, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Torsten Moeller. Dr. Su Chen. Dr. Shen completed his doctorate in the School of Computing Science, and his senior supervisor was Yizhang Li. Dr. Aman Hajirasula. Dr. Hajirasula completed his degree in the School of Computing Science. His senior supervisor was Dr. Cheng Salana. Dr. Mehmet Ekran Karamuglu. Dr. Karamuglu completed his doctorate in the School of Computing Science, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Dirk Beyer. Dr. Se-Won Lee. Dr. Lee completed his doctorate in the School of Engineering Science, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Ayers Parshwaran. Dr. Muhammad Reza Dajinamanani. Dr. Najimahani completed his doctorate in the School of Engineering Science, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Bojana Kaminska. Dr. Reza Sebzakar. Dr. Zebzigars completed his doctorate in the School of Engineering Science, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Merhed Mullen. Dr. Jonas Wadalasi. Dr. Wadalasi completed his doctorate in the School of Computing Science, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Stella Atkins. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Communication, Art, and Technology. The graduates will be hooded by Dr. Cheryl Geisler, Dean of the Faculty of Communication, Art, and Technology. Dr. Lorna Boschman. Dr. Boschman completed her doctorate in the School of Interactive Arts and Technology, and her senior supervisor was Dr. Tom Calvert. Dr. Florence Mimi Shi. Dr. Shi completed her doctorate in the School of Communications, and her senior supervisor was Dr. Richard Smith. Dr. Benjamin Wu. Dr. Wu completed his doctorate in the School of Communication, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Gary McCarran. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the master's degrees in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. Ronjen Chen. Juan Galvez. Reza Heferorish. Bernard Ho. Pasto Kirda Decorde. Suchandan Lally. Udet Parit. Jonas Rashidi. Sasan Bojush Grali. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of master's degrees in the Faculty of Communication, Art, and Technology. Kashik Choudhury. Mariam Hamidrad.
This is still applied sciences, so I screwed up. I must have thought too early, so we don't need to do a dean change right now, okay?
Sure. Sit down. My apologies. These are still students in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. Huayan Xiang. Huang Ma. Shiguang Ma. Mesri Razvina. Mubeth Sagegi. Oren Shalartsky. Max Whitney. Shen Zhu. Yi Chen Ye. Let's get it straight this time. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of master's degrees in the Faculty of Communication, Art, and Technology. Michael Bowery. Laura Coles. Diana Desnoriers. Audrey Desjardins. Leah Mastry. Vanda Sidher. Champagne Couture. Coriana Costanda. Jesse Johnston. Cara Simpson. Savannah Sultani. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of master's degrees in the Faculty of Health Sciences. Amanda Adams. Salish Fenwick Wilson. Paul MacArthur. Blair Rands. Claire Schiller. Elaine Vakharik, Flakaki.
Madam Chancellor, the Dean of the Faculty of Applied Sciences, Dr. Namal Rajapaksa, will announce the names of the students earning degrees in his faculty.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Applied Science in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. Danush Askapur, Hing Hen Chang, George Chen, Adam Cudbill, Brendan Fayas, Fan Fen, Timothy Jones, Susan Hesakharani, Kamea Jafari Esfahani, Matthew Keeler, Faraz Khan, Parisa Koshand, Himanshu Kundra, Jeremy Lau, Q. Seo Lee, Matthew Lee, Jun Lu, Jin Chi Liu, Farid Maburak, Ali Madani, Amir Saman Mirasai, Neda Moradi, Ekin Nalbantoglu, Faraz Naebi, Monia Pelgaje, Celestine Poon, Kelsey James Regan, Andre Simeon, Gian Marco Spiga, Ryan Spooner, Ashia Tajik, Y10, Adrian To, Philip Torres, Yash Trivedi, Michael Tyson, Rui Don Van, Su Hui Wong, Wai Min Zhou, Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Science in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. Godfrey Kwok Phai Chan, Lin Lee Chen, Kok Pong Peter Cheng, Morgan Phelps, Danny Ho, Colin Hume, David Hong, Jordan Claassen, Chi Yup Lung, Jian Bo Lee, Nancy Lee, Brendan Mack, Hugo Mack, June Emmanuel Makeda, Divesh Mestri, Brendan Oleni, Christopher Parsons, Michael Ribasha, Negin Salahi, Andrew Schumann, Rui Shengxi, Lincoln Silk, Jia Sun, Catherine Tan, Long Tran, Tusha Vyas, Tian Van, Matthew Washinska, Renji Wu, Shaoning Shu, Wenda Yang, Mi Jo, Mozu,
Madam Chancellor, the Dean of the Faculty of Communication, Art and Technology, Dr. Cheryl Geisler, will announce the names of the students earning degrees in her faculty.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Arts in the Faculty of Communication, Art and Technology. Congratulations. Philippa Adams, Alexander Akapayan, Jenna Alves, Ikam Athwal, Sadie Balance, Mandy Banampal, Ali Mohammed Bohala, Andrea Blendel, Ryan Bulchler, Alyssa Borthwick, Clara Bravenek, Olivia Brennan, Nicola Bronsoro, Laura Bryce, Monica Chai, Edwin Chan, Yu Chen Chang, Carmen Chen, Quan Hang Chen, Thomas Cheung, Grace Chiu, Benny Quan Huang Chiu, Cindy Chu, Zhang Jian Chuang, Christina Dang, Sarah Dixon, Andrew Digola, Randa El Khalil, Connie Eng, Simon Falik, Zhao Feng, Carmen Fu, Huiya Fu, Dinah Gerson, Kathleen Graham, Sheena Grant, Colin Grout, Megan Hall, Chelsea Hartman, Larissa Hildebrandt, Kitty Ho, Shashar Hossein Ninia, Yu Hu, Jessica Herford, Trip Johal, Amir Johara Nifard, Gizem Karahan, Catherine Konkan, Terry Kwe, Nathan Larson, Ben Ka-Kin Lau, Shali Rich Cam Truong Lau, Ashley Lee, Crystal Young, Kagyu Lee, Eileen Lin, Alice Ling, Jordan Lohr, Yayao Makino, Jordan Manning, Ross Manson, excuse me, Fiona Matalon, Shannon McDonald, Mallory McLeod, Sarah Merrill. Michelle Morvai. Monica Nelson. John Pang. April Pierce. Stephanie Poat. Sally Kwan Poon. Justin Ramsey. Sarad Renyard. Claire Riddle. Michelle C. Sandy Shee. Victoria Sheikh. Janet Shimusu. Marie Dominique Siojo. John Suyati. Elijah Tan. Abby Tang. Hyuchun Tang. Laura Tang. Parvandeep Singh. T. Long Thum. Santa Dixon. Karen Truong. Jennifer Singh. Chelsea Versick Ryson. Kimberly Walker. Huan Wang. Sandy Wang. Stephen Wapanar. Laura Weber. Cassandra Wierning. Miranda White. Stephanie Wuraharja. Jonathan Wong. Queenie Wong. Yilin Elaine Wong. Melanie Wu. Andy Yang. Elaine Jung. John Yim. Dennis Yip. Angela Yu. Jia Wang Zhang. Mandy Zhang. Snowzhu Zhang. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Fine Arts in the Faculty of Communication, Art, and Technology. Sally Stewart Ying Chan. Congratulations. Matthew Clark. Nathan Douglas. Sadie Henschel. Nikki Hockey. Jonathan Kim. Troy Kozuki. Patricia Nud. Priya Tharashini Raja Rantham. Milena Reed. Samantha Sphere. Robin Temple. Michael Zhao. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Science in the Faculty of Communication, Art, and Technology. Congratulations. Paul Brokenshire. Sarah Fung. Mary Hui. Mark Lahman. Max Lin. Lance Sibiel. Nathan Sang. Nicholas Weed.
Madam Chancellor, the Dean of the Faculty of Health Sciences, Dr. John O'Neill, will announce the names of the students earning degrees in his faculty.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Arts in the Faculty of Health Sciences. Mohammed Afnan Akhtar Zaman. Jennifer Baines. Sydney Boucher. Helen Chan. Samantha Chan. Sun Yin Chan. Jocelyn DeRosa. Sam Ezrin. Monica Hagel. Chi Wai Ho. Jacqueline Jameson. Yuju Jin. Tiffany King. Loganthiran Krishnan. Christine Lee. Salona Nainar. Helena Pavlovic. Julia Penzenti. Angela Fwang. Martina Perchula. Tina Shen. Deanna Spear. Sarah Teng. Kristen Yip. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in the Faculty of Health Sciences. Jasmine Atwal. Laura Baracaldo. Deepak Bala. Wesley Go. Brian Hua. Sally Yang. Jason Lin. Yi Lin. Anita Lee. Jessica Maurice. Gregory Nigan. Sarah Rhodes. Emily Rousseau. Jazhanat Sandhu. Jasmine Sange. Subha Swami. Irina Vikol. Fiona Wong. Julie Zhu.
Will the graduating class please rise? I congratulate each of you on the completion of your degree. This is an impressive achievement, and I ask your friends and family to join me in applauding the amazing graduating class of October 2012. Now let's not forget who helped to get you here. I'm going to invite the members of the graduating class to reciprocate by applauding your family, friends, the faculty and staff, all of those who helped you to reach your goal. Please be seated.
Congratulations to everyone. And ladies and gentlemen, this now completes the formal awarding of degrees. Unfortunately, some of the graduates recommended by the Senate for degrees today were unable to be present, and their names therefore have not been read out. But I now admit them to the appropriate degrees, as you will see shown in the program. Now I have several quick thank yous to express. Most importantly, to all of you for joining us and showing such wonderful warmth and support of all our graduates today. And of course, to the many volunteer staff and faculty members coordinated by Student Services and Ceremonies and the Events Office. They've worked so hard all together to keep this seamless and moving, and I want to thank them all for their efforts. And of course, to the members of our 6-time world champion Simon Fraser University Pipe Band for their very special contribution to Convocation. Our pipe band will be performing after the ceremony in Freedom Square, which is just behind the platform. And this brings to a close now the formal part of this morning's convocation, but you are all invited to attend a reception in the James Douglas Room, again behind the platform. Please rise and remain standing at your places until the platform party has recessed.